cognitively, he has improved to mid-stage, and physically, he's improved to early stages. Yesterday, I walked in the kitchen, and after dinner, he just got up and started taking care of his own dishes. He was washing it in the sink. I didn't have to ask him, what do we do? Which that's been a new thing. What do we do with it when we're done? And, teaching him to be more independent again. But I wasn't even in there. And then there was no, and we've only been working on that for like a week.
So how's things going? I'm so excited to hear from you both. How are you feeling, Dennis?
Oh, feel great. Really. Making things that we want and seems to be working pretty well. And there it is.
I've seen a huge transformation in you from a few months ago. It's such a blessing.
Well, okay.
Steph, why don't you go ahead and tell the listeners a little backstory for those that aren't aware?
Sure. So he was diagnosed with early stages, Alzheimer's and dementia, 8.5 years ago. And he went into memory care almost 2 years ago. And when he got to my house, it was when the V9 was almost here. We thought, thank God for the touch. The V9 didn't arrive, but the touch did, and it's been amazing. But he got to my house on December the 10th, 2024. He was shuffling his steps maybe 2-3 inches at a time on a good day, 4 or 5 inches at a time on 8 prescriptions. He talked some, but he knew what he was trying to say, but it wasn't in a way that we could communicate and understand at all. But now it is dramatically different. We're having conversations that we go on walks all the time. He walks 4 and 5 miles a day, every day. We have to stop him. He would probably walk more than that. I'm like, Dad, it's getting really hot now. That's why. So, yeah, it's pretty amazing. And he's off all 8 prescriptions. So that's obviously pretty amazing.
Yeah.
He has completely retrained his bowels. He used to have to wear pull-ups if we went anywhere. That's the daytime pull-ups have been gone for a couple of months. The nighttime pull-ups have been gone for a week. But he was dry 26 or 7 days out of 30 prior to that. So, and then since we made the full switch, he's been golden. So that's big news this week. And also Brooks was here. They used to, the physical rehab people. I asked them to come out and stretch him out because he was having some pain in his hip, which I'm taking him to Cairo on Wednesday. But the guy came out and he's like, oh, he's way past where he needs to go to regular physical therapy. Home health is, why am I here? Because he said, can you walk over there and back? And Dad goes, yeah. His dad walks over there and Guy goes, why am I here? So he did do a little stretching with him, and he said he would do some upper arm strengthening, give us a few visits, but that he needed regular physical therapy. So we'll be scheduling that. Mm-hmm. And the lady from Brooks, Miss Amy, that came out from home health care, did the Allen cognitive, I think it's Allen cognitive test. And it was stage 6, which we already knew from memory care and previous tests. He wasn't able to complete any of the activities at all. When she came, she said he was too far gone. And I was like, I said, okay, so we'll call you whenever he's not, because he's going in the office. So she didn't expect to get that call, but she got the call, and he's doing so amazing. She evaluated him again today, and he is not stage 6. He's not later stages of either one. Cognitively, he has improved to mid stage, and physically he's improved to early stages.
Right on. And how often?
Stage in both.
So how often does he use the touch? How often do you use the touch, Dennis?
I'm trying now. Just now, my hits are going, so
it changes a little based on our functional medicine lady that we see. That has been God's gift with his inability to communicate and our desire to get him well, and doing more frequencies sometimes caused wasn't the most fun healing in the world for him or for us. And so when Joni started being able to ask his body what it needed, and as far as we take the HHS with us to her office and we turn on the lights and turn off the lights, and she gives us a setting for the week for daytime and nighttime. You may want to cut this part out because everybody didn't have that, but she, that has been miraculous. And like right this week, it's 3 sessions one day and 1 session another day. Last week, it was 2 sessions a day. 3 weeks ago, it was 1 session. The caregiver was like, she can't know what she's talking about. There's no way she's going to say go down in frequencies. There's no way. And I'm like, I've worked with her. She saved my life when doctors couldn't. Like, she knows what she's doing. She's asking his body I don't understand functional medicine, the science of it. It's far more than just muscle testing. But anyway, and that was a huge turn for him that week. It was very hard for me to take him down to 1 session a day. Like, but I did trust her. And he had some major breakthroughs. And then from there, it really seems to be exponentially getting better every day. Yesterday, I walked in the kitchen, and after dinner, he just got up and started taking care of his own dishes. He was washing it in the sink. I didn't have to ask him, what do we do? Which that's been a new thing. What do we do with it when we're done? And, teaching him to be more independent again. But I wasn't even in there. And there was no, and we've only been working on that for like a week. And I walked in there and he's at the sink just taking care of it all by himself. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's things like that happen every day, or a huge word that he'll use in context, or a phrase that's just hilarious and on point. Every day there's more and more happening.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's making it on the
Making progress.
Chunk. Yeah.
And the fact that you can walk like that, because my mom does that little like shuffle, but of course they're not open-minded yet, but I'm going to show them video and make a difference.
Yes, please try. I recommend it for anyone. Just please try it. If you want to get your quality of life back, try it. And I asked the lady, I keep asking the specialist, I'm like, so how many patients do you have getting better? The answer. It's none. And with all of them, the physical therapist said the same, well, none. And the lady today, none. And so he was pretty happy to hear that again today. And hear
He can be the benchmark now, that they can see what's possible. Like that man who, I can't remember his name, Bannister, they thought it was humanly impossible to run a sub 4 mile.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden some guy broke it, and then it just kept happening and happening and happening. So everything's possible to a willing mind.
That's for sure. So we're very excited. And she said that as far as cognitively, he's this close to early stages. Like I was hoping just for mid on both of them, to be honest with you, because I just know it's improved. So when I heard early stages on one, I was over the moon. I'm not going to lie. But to see how close he was on to early, like the way he's going in a week or two, it's going to be reversed to early. It's just because it's just going so much faster now. So he's using predominantly the touch. He has also been able to, in recent, the last 2 weeks, he's been able to use the devices. He couldn't use the devices very much before. They seem to overstimulate him when we use the touch. And I think I mentioned before that the V6 charging beside his bed, we found out from Joni, the functional medicine. I'm like, why is he still not sleeping? We're addressing circadian rhythm. Why is he still not sleeping? So that's when I took the devices in, and she found out that for him, because he's extremely sensitive, it was like 6 feet away and it was still blocking him. So he has to be, they can't charge next to his bed, kept him up. But now his body's tolerating it. So he sleeps with the V9 at night, and he wears the V6 normally on his head with a hat, but he wanted to show his dapper hair. So we'll have that right back on. But that's very exciting too. I think that's another reason that it's now exponential, because he's able to put that with, and before we just could not, it overstimulated him.
Oh, interesting.
We tried it, I can promise you, regularly. Sometimes we might get 15 minutes or an hour, but so now he's wearing it like all day. His body's really taking in the frequency. So this coming week, we're going to do a session before bed and see if he sleeps like a baby.
So tell me, how was his sleep? Oh, I'm sorry, Steph. How was his sleep when he first came to you compared to now?
Oh my gosh. He would get up, I would have to look at the diary, but well over a dozen times every single night. Sometimes 15, 20 times in a night, just up and down and up and down and up and down. Now he's getting up an average of 3 to 5 times, but he gets up and he pees and goes back to bed almost every time. Every once in a while, I'll come out in the kitchen, look around a little bit, but he just gets up and pees and goes back to bed. So
Nice.
he's finally getting some sleep too, which is huge. That's huge.
Yeah, very, very important. I have a favor. Will you come and check in with me once a month so we can do like a progress on Dennis, and we can really focus on, where he is progressing to each and every month.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean,
Great.
this is a great story. And I mean, just looking at him from the first time I saw him, I can't remember what it was on that I saw him first, but I mean, he's just there before he wasn't,
Right. Yeah.
you know?
Definitely not late stage 6 anymore. He's not even stage 6 anymore. Woohoo. Yes. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to whenever he can go back and see all the videos, because when we first started doing this, it was in the beginning of the V9 study is probably where you saw him, and
Yeah.
he couldn't sit up straight anymore. And yeah, he didn't even realize there really was a screen for a while, much less engaging and talking and joking and all of
You
the
know
things.
what I'm going to do for you guys? I'm going to put together a video that starts from the first video. So we have a comparison to show the progress all the way through.
That would be so awesome, Tracy.
Oh, I just love you
That
guys
would be
so
so
much.
awesome.
I would love nothing more than to be able to do that, because this is just remarkable, and you are such an important part of this community, and I would just love to do that. And I'm not going to stop it. I'm just going to start it and get it ready until he is where you want him to be. And so this will be an ongoing thing for us. The three.
Awesome. Awesome. What do you think, Dad? A highlight.
He likes it too.
I told him, I said, they're making a movie and I wouldn't be surprised if you're not in it. And he was like, really? So you can tell him, because he thinks I'm making it up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we are. And
Yeah.
it's a documentary, and it's called My First Days. And so I'm going to prepare the beginning of it, starting from your first video that you did with us. And I'm going to get everything up to this point, and then we'll add to it as we meet every month.
Oh, that's great.
You're going to be famous, Dennis.
Well,
You're not shy, right? No way. I can tell.
I'm not quiet that way.
Yesterday, he went in to take a nap. Here you go. He went in to take a nap, and it was like all of 10 minutes or something. He comes out, and I was like, wow, that was a quick 10-minute power nap. How do you feel? And he goes, whoa, and flexes, and I was like, I love it.
That is awesome. Good for you. And I want to honor you, Stephanie, because so few people would do what you've done. And your commitment to him it's remarkable. And I just want you to know how I look at you in honor, because you're doing stuff that most people wouldn't do. So the hope and the
My
faith.
mom too, because she makes sure that we have the help, the care help, and the food. Honor my mom too. She's a big.
Oh, does she live with you as well?
No, she doesn't. She's been taking care of some of her own things, so she's not able to do that. But she provides for him in every other way possible, and takes very good care of him that way.
Oh,
So
I haven't met her. Has she been on a call before?
she is camera shy.
Oh, so many people are.
I know, and she's a beautiful lady. So we'll get her there. We'll get her there.
Awesome. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. And we will definitely look forward to seeing you guys next month.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you so
Have
much.
a beautiful day. Thanks, Stephanie.